Okay, with Tamara Hernandez, we showcased two of her films at our festival so far: The Little Girl and Lipsticks and Light Bulbs. I was going to ask you right off the top, but let's talk about both of those films. But you mentioned off the podcast that those are your two crazy films, quote unquote crazy films, right?
Yeah, they're on the crazier end of the spectrum. I have other crazy, but those are like the 9, 10
So
level of
what's your
crazy.
definition of the crazier films?
Um, I think the ones that go are that are emotionally raw. Just there's it's completely stripped down. There's no it's just stories based on just raw feelings rather than you know any kind of like normalized structure.
Yeah,
You know,
because
kind
I
of
was
like
gonna.
maybe like Cassavetes with like way too much caffeine.
Oh, so we're going back. Yeah, so it's Cassavetes, 70s director, kind of famous actor who kind of made his own independent films, right?
Yeah. Do you like his work?
I really like Woman Under the Influence.
Oh yeah.
I think that's almost a perfect film. So
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a women, it's a female protagonist and
yeah, his wife at the time, right? Gina Rollins.
yeah, Jenna Rollins, yeah.
So I was going to ask you about the films, like especially Lipstick and Light Bulbs. Like, how would you if you were forced to call it a genre? What genre would you call that film?
I guess it would be horror
Yeah,
along the lines of like I don't know, like new wave French horror kind of, it's not like typical horror. It's not Scream, Saw kind of horror. It's emotional horror. It's yeah.
yeah, that's what I would. Yeah,
Rosemary's Baby kind of under your skin horror.
Cassavetes.
Yeah.
So he didn't direct it, but he was in the film. He was the
He
big.
was in the film. Yep.
I was going to
That's
give a spoiler alert, but then I just stopped myself right there. But basically, he's an actor in the film. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so but what about Little Girl? Would you consider that a horror as well?
That's more of drama, just drama. I'd
Okay.
say that's straight drama. That one's very much based on the actor who's in that movie's life.
Yeah.
That's basically just her life. And she was a friend of mine and we made a made a film about her life.
Okay, let's talk about the little girl like right from the beginning then. So plus you could this is your in your synopsis like a plus size woman who is I guess it's like one room. Uh how would you just like so basically both of those films are one room kind of like
Yeah,
low
yeah,
lighting, I guess, right? Cameras like very much in your face, kind of like handheld camera, I guess. I guess that's
yeah.
sort of what you're talking about, like very raw, where like you're kind of using natural lighting in most of the scenes.
Yeah, well, the little girl was handheld.
Yeah,
Lipstick and Light Bulbs was more, storyboard, and I shot listed that movie, and there's some handheld in it, but
yeah,
those are more, um, deliberate frames. But yeah, the little girl, she told me, just what she was doing, and I said, that sounds really dangerous and
yeah.
and also like a really good movie. And and we rewrote it together and well, I wrote it and then she gave me feedback and I adjusted,
Teresa Stone, right? Teresa Stone's the
yeah.
actress. Yeah.
Yeah, I adjusted things that she didn't want me to put in and then I shot it in a few hours and I just rented a hotel room and I just took pieces of each of stories that she told me that jumped out and just did like a slice of each story and then
You
kind of
brought in a rotation of actors, I guess.
yeah and I would just have them
Actors.
come in and then um play the parts of things that she actually experienced. Those are all, yeah.
So I'm just curious about the process. We're like, because there's how many male actors did she
I
have?
think
It's like
I
a
think there was like
limited
four
film. There's like
or
five.
five.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think there's
maybe there's
five.
five. Yeah.
Yeah. So were they just like down the lobby and then you just call them up when they were
I
ready?
just scheduled them. I just said, okay, you come from
Oh,
like
okay.
whatever 9 to
Yeah.
11, and you come from 11 to, yeah.
Yeah.
And they just all had one scene.
Yeah.
And I just, I knew how I wanted to shoot it. And I had the DP was great. And we just did it. We just went through it.
So it's like sexual experiences with these five guys that
Yeah.
kind of like certain fantasy or certain kind of
For them.
yeah.
And I think for her, it was more like, searching for love in all the wrong places.
So these guys have a fixation on heavy woman,
Yeah. And they
which is the
don't,
thing, I guess, right?
yeah. But they won't, um, in their life outside, they won't admit to it.
Sure.
They don't want to admit to being attracted to a woman who's not the standard beauty type. And it's sad. It's just I think the movie is sad.
There is something, well, there's something extremely sad about it, right? But that's what like it, but then it just, yeah, like it is interesting where like, because you said it's based on her life, so she had these experiences
Hmm.
and she just kind of told you about them and you kind of wrote a script within them.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'll do that. Like sometimes I'll hear people tell me stories and I'm like, that's great. I want to make a movie about that. And then if they say okay, that I did another short about similar situation. A friend of mine told me this story about him and his mom and this fight they were having. And I'm like, that's a movie. And I don't know, it's just like you can just see it. It's, and I just feel like people can relate to those kinds of story. It's not, if one person's experiencing it, there's hundreds of thousands of people experiencing this thing,
Yeah.
and I gravitate to things that aren't talked about,
Yeah.
you know, normally in society. Um, because I just feel like there's a lot of people who they're living these quiet lives of desperation. They're just like hidden. And I don't know. I just feel like I want to let them feel like they're heard in the world or seen.
Yeah, and well, there's like they did them for the male point of view. They have fetishes. Like this is like I think that, or even I
Yeah.
think people watching this film doesn't matter if it's the fetish that these men have for this woman. It's a certain fetish that's not that's or at the same time it's something that you kind of keep to yourself and you don't share to
Hmm.
anybody because you're
Hmm.
embarrassed or afraid. And a
Hmm.
lot of people just keep it besides if they don't have a therapist, they keep it to
Yeah.
their, maybe they don't even just share it to the therapist or that ashamed, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Like the baby powder guy.
yeah. And it's for her, it's just like, yeah, there's something very sad about it because why is she doing this? Like she's like that desperate to that.
I think
Yeah,
some women just need that, just want the attention. That's what I was thinking. It was just like a need for attention. Um, and then, and I think not just women, men do it too, but like people will put themselves in compromising positions just because they're lonely, they need attention, and they devalue themselves when they do that. Yeah, I know people now who do that. And I'm a
yeah,
mom, so I'm always like, well, be safe, be careful. But
yeah. But for her, it felt it's even, I don't know, it's almost like she can't. feels that she can't even have a normal relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that she needs to do this in order to have connection to work with a man, right? So,
Yeah. Right.
which is,
Yeah.
low
It's it's
self-esteem, right?
it's yeah, it's a tough subject, but I
Yeah.
think it's common. It's very common.
Yeah, it's very common. Yeah.
Um,
So from a practical standpoint, like did she meet the actors before? There was any rehearsal done before?
no,
So
no
she met them
rehearsal.
for the first time and
Hmm.
the man and men agreed to the roles.
Yeah, I auditioned them. I picked
Really?
them out. I'm pretty good at casting. Like people are, I don't know. They were all great.
No, they
They
were. But I'm
they were
just
all
curious, like
great.
they were all game. They knew what they were getting into, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, they read the script.
Yeah. And then in terms of the editing, you were like you kind of played with reality, I guess, in a sense, right? Like, yeah,
Time jumps.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or you kind of had freeze frames.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. The freeze framing, yeah, with the voiceover. I was experimenting, like,
yeah,
oh, I wonder what this would feel like. A lot of times I'm making movies just, especially short films.
yeah.
It's just a time to experiment. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Is it going to be any good? Will anybody like it, understand it, care? But I'm not spending that much money on it, so I'm like, let's experiment. Let's see how this feels.
And so when this film you made this a couple years ago, did you and you sent it out to festivals? I'm very curious how was the reaction?
I don't think people got it. Or
No.
I showed it, I wanted to actually make a TV show about it or a
Yeah,
film or something. And I had producers that I showed it to who liked other stuff that I was doing.
yeah,
And they'd option some stuff, one script of mine. And when I showed them, I'm like, I really want to make a movie about this,
yeah,
And I showed it to them and they were silent.
yeah. I get
And
it.
they never said a word about it. They just, oh, okay. That was it. We just dropped it after that.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
I
like,
think the only like I'm kind of putting my brain my like say I'm putting that producer's hat on. Listen, I love this film. I think it's great, and I think the performances are outstanding. And but at the same time, it's like because I'm in that short little film world, right? Which I like these kind of films because it's like people are trying to make short films that are like a version of a Hollywood movie or a version of a television show, which is
mm-hmm,
okay because if you can do that, you can kind of showcase your talent. But for me, it's like these are short films. I think I'm right on the same page as you. That said, if I'm putting on that kind of producer's hat, you're showing it to them. I think if it's stylized a little bit more, and you kind of have a kind of a bookend where like you kind of show her and then at the beginning kind of like in the
mm-hmm.
context and in the end and you
Yeah, yeah.
stylize meaning that you kind of like give it that glow like in terms of
Mm-hmm,
your shooting style then I
mm-hmm,
think
hmm.
there's something there.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just moved on.
you know what I'm trying to say though, right? I think
Yeah,
that
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah, because
It was just
it's raw, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
I yeah. It was, I'm glad you reminded me about the freeze frame though. I forgot about that part.
yeah.
I like that. Just kind of I should try that again. I
Okay, then let's talk about lipstick and light bulbs, which is a horror film. I would very much call it a horror film,
yeah.
and kind of a female protagonist again, right?
Hmm.
Tell me about that. Right when you wrote that script, where did that idea come from?
It just popped into my head and I wrote it. I don't really think, I just start like something just comes into my head and then I just start writing. And it isn't until later that I understand why I'm doing it. So in that particular case, I had no idea why I was making that movie until I was in the editing room. And then I remembered the very intense childhood trauma. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this movie's about my friend Stacy from sixth grade who attacked me.
Oh, like a sleepover or something, or
Yeah, I had
yeah.
this friend who attacked me and she wrote lipstick all over my face and like pinned me down and attacked. And I'd forgotten that was when I was 12. I forgot that this whole thing happened to me and we were alone and her dad was gone and I was in this scary house like by myself out in the middle of nowhere. There was nowhere for me to escape. And it all came out in the editing room. Just remembered it all. It all came back.
Wow. And it was like you just kind of forgot, like it was like obviously subconsciously it was there, but then you
Yeah,
just
so the
forgot about
the the girl who got the lipstick on her face
it. Right.
looked just like my friend. I cast somebody who looked like my
And
friend
you just
in
you
sixth
realized
grade,
it, yeah.
and I forgot. I forgot it all happened until
You're
I
like
was
12, 11, 12 years old.
I was 12, yeah, when it
Yeah.
happened.
It's an interesting age for a girl too, right? So lots going on. So
Yeah.
yeah. So you used something popped up in my brain where like there was like I have young kids and my there's like sleepovers happening and my son who wants to sleep because my daughter has sleepovers all the time and my son wants to sleep over with his best friend, but then the mom comes up to me and it's like, I don't think we're gonna have sleepovers. And she had this like because I looked in her eyes and she had this like very traumatic situation happen when she was a kid and
Mm.
she's so scared to have her son staying over someone's house overnight, even though she
Hmm.
and I look at the look in her eyes, it was like, I would love to know this story, but I can't pry, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it's sort of like, yeah, there was like there's this trauma, right? So sorry. Anyways, it just reminded me
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that it just happened like last week, right? So yeah,
Oh, it did.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, but there's like so much story in her eyes, right? Where like,
Right.
yeah. I don't know if you had the same situation with your kids. You said you're a mom, right? So it's
Yeah,
like,
I have a couple of kids, but they're teenagers
no,
now.
I mean, but when they were doing the sleepover thing, where did you,
Yeah, yeah.
it never popped up for you or?
Not really. Because that was a very particular situation, with a friend who was crazy.
Yeah.
And I was alone with her.
But did you know she
Yeah.
was crazy before that?
Um, yeah, I did, but
But
but I didn't, she was so much bigger than me. So I was like kind of trapped. I was trapped there.
no, but you
So
made the choice of going there.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't know what you I don't know how you felt about that movie, if it seemed scary or,
Yeah, it was terrifying.
oh, it was?
Yeah. Especially the end, right? Like the last few minutes of the film. Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
I didn't know. It's hard for me to be objective. I don't know. Is it terrifying? Is it just weird? Is it kind of funny? I have no idea.
Well, I think there's a little bit of those in those two films that you made. There is a little dry, there is a little dark comedy happening, of course, right? Especially the
Hmm.
first one, especially, but this one too at the beginning, there is a little bit of comedy, right? So
Yeah, it's this whole fight about lipstick.
yeah, the lens, like even the tone of how they're acting too, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, so yeah, you're onto something. Okay, so um, tell me about because you said you have a few films in the festival circuit. So tell me about your kind of origin of like directing. Like, is it new? Is it something new for you, or you've been doing it for a long time? What's your story?
Um, I've been doing it. Well, I started pretty young, like when I was 26. I started directing and um, I made some short films and they went to Sundance and one went to Cannes and then I made a feature and it won South by Southwest and then after that I just felt like the business was just really not conducive. It wasn't that friendly towards women. Um, in at the time, and I was not, I just didn't, I don't know, I just felt like I wasn't tough enough to deal with it. It was just, I'm like, do I really want my whole life to be like this one long battle and battle and battle?
Yeah.
And I'm like, eh, I'll just, I kind of got depressed. And then I ended up meeting my husband and I got married and had kids. And I'm just like, oh, I'll just be a little mom, and just like drive kids to like soccer games and forget about all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I ended up starting a children's educational production company. So I went back into directing and I directed some documentaries that I just got hired to do. They weren't my ideas. And then I ended up starting a school and I became a school principal. And I was the film teacher at my school. And now that my school's bigger and it's too big for me to run because I was just a mom who started a school. I wasn't like, I
Like
didn't
what
go,
type of school? Like a private school or
yeah, yeah, it's an
like
elementary, middle school.
alternative learning, I'm assuming?
It's immersion, Mandarin, Spanish,
Okay.
immersion, progressive education. So there are a lot of arts and science and project-based learning. And we have a film program starting with 4-year-olds making their own movies. And it's so fun.
4 year olds. Okay.
4-year-olds, like you're the DP, you're the director, and they're just
So you
like,
teach them the fun, the
I
job, the
teach
roles and everything.
all
Yeah.
the crew. Yep, they do it. It's their ideas. They do it. It's hilarious. And they're brilliant actually. Um, and then, but I'm not doing that anymore. The school's too big for me to run, and I decided to go back to filmmaking because my
Wow.
kids are older. My daughter's in college now, so I'm like, okay, now it's my time to make some movies again before I.
But the school's still going on.
Mhm. Yeah, it was Lunar New Year. We just had our celebration on Tuesday.
That's amazing. And this is in Los Angeles.
Hmm.
So they teach the teachers don't speak English. They speak just Mandarin or Spanish.
Yeah, well, we also have English
Okay.
too. So the kids learn 3 languages every day.
Why? I understand Spanish, but why Mandarin?
It's one of the biggest languages in the world.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna learn it, you should learn it when you're little.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because yeah.
It's very hard. So, and I wanted my kids to learn Mandarin and Spanish, so that's why I
And they
started
have?
it. Hmm.
What's the school called?
It's called Oasis Trilingual Community School.
Gotcha. Yeah, it just popped up. I just saw it on my on I just found it. Got a virtual tour video and
Oh
everything.
yeah. Well, I shot all the videos for the
Yeah.
website, of course. Um, yeah, it's fun.
Which is interesting because the films that we just talked about, you can't show these kids. Well, you can, but I would recommend you
I
not
wouldn't
showing
show it
them.
to
Yeah,
them. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, good. Glad we're on the same page. Yeah. But they're teaching like you teach it like music, filmmaking, gardening, cooking, lots of field trips. That's amazing.
Yeah, they have fun. They have fun. They have a good time.
So I understand the suburban world. So one would assume that you were like something's missing here in this crazy world that I'm when I'm driving my kids to school and their stuff. So that's I think am I wrong saying that that was your motivation to do the school? Like
Well, the public school system in the United States is there's a lot of well, there's a lot of things that they're underfunded. There's too many kids in the classroom. Um, they can't, the teachers are overworked
yeah,
and
underpaid.
underpaid. Also, there's so many lobbyists that push particular curriculum into the public schools that aren't really that
Yeah.
great. And they don't get to do art a lot of the time or science experiments. It's just like, and I didn't want that for my kids. So
Yeah.
I was looking at other private schools and I'm like, they didn't have what I wanted, so I made
Yeah.
it.
So you just decided to do it.
Hmm.
That's pretty bold. And so that's pretty amazing.
I was I was writing a script and I just made the short film for it, but was writing a script when I had the idea for the school. And I
Yeah.
stopped the script and I thought, okay, I'll just start the school and then I'll keep working on the script. And that school took over my t and like a huge chunk of my life. So now I'm just not getting back to. I just finished the short uh earlier in the year.
Of the origin
The
story of the
script
school.
of the script that I started that I was working on before I started the school. But
Oh,
it
okay.
just like the school just took a
Yeah,
huge like
well, one would assume, right, that
yeah,
you're building something from scratch and you have to bring in kids, right?
yeah. Recruiting,
And I'm assuming there's
hiring.
some trial and error too in the first few years.
Oh yeah. It was it was hilarious.
And I'm assuming your husband supported this choice
No,
as
I
well.
was a single parent at the
Oh,
time.
wow.
Yeah, I got divorced before I started the school.
Oh,
So I had a
wow.
4-year-old and a like 7-year-old.
You had to get funding. Someone had to like, right? And that's
I got it. I I talked people into giving me
yeah,
money.
yeah. So you could do the same thing for your film. So then now you're
Yeah,
like, now it's one of those things when you run a business, it gets to a point where it sustains itself. They don't need you, like
yeah.
you know what I mean. You build up you know what I mean. It's sort of like the brick wall, right? When
Hmm.
you started,
Hmm.
it's a straw house, and
Hmm.
then
Yeah.
the pig finally makes the brick house, and it's strong enough to hold itself up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I get
But
it. Yeah,
it takes a decade. It's a
yeah.
decade.
Or longer. Yeah, it takes a long time,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
if you make it there, right? Because a lot of people don't, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
We had a
amazing.
we had a lot of good luck uh coming
Yeah.
our way.
And now you're doing your own. Now you're doing what you want to do. Like you're doing your
Now I'm going back
or
and
going forward. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, just back yeah, I guess back to filmmaking. But yeah, I just feel like okay, I have these stories I've been wanting to tell for so long
yeah,
that I stopped myself and I didn't do it. And
yeah.
so I'm like, I'm only on this planet for a few more years. Might as well go for it.
I think you got more than a few more years. So yeah, you just
Me,
celebrated a birthday, right?
yep, I
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think you got 40 years left, at least 40 years left. So
really. Well,
yeah.
I'm taking my vitamins, so hopefully you're right.
Well, not to get too flaky, but at the same time, you're when you do what you want, when you're allowed, you're doing what you're excited what you're gonna do, I guess, right? You kind
Hmm.
of you're gonna like basically age is irrelevant, I guess, right? That's basically what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Stay away from the drugs and alcohol and just do what you want and you'll live a long time.
yeah, I think it's pacing yourself
Yeah,
too.
true that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like I'm not the same as I was back then, just so driven, driven, driven.
yeah,
I'm like, yeah, see what happens.
yeah. Well,
I
you've already created your legacy with the school, so you're almost like someone could say you're on house money right now.
what?
I said you've already created your legacy with your
Oh,
school, so some could say that you're playing with house money right now.
oh, I never thought of it like that. It's a good positive. You play keyboard?
Do I play? No, my kids do.
Oh yeah,
I'm a poser. It's been the background for like my wife and kids do. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. They also speak French, and I don't speak French either, so
Oh,
they're all
They're talking about
They're
and
all
you know
talking
what's
about,
going on.
yeah, it's my narcissism. They're like they're always talking about me, right? So yeah, they're not, yeah. So okay, so would you, I guess eventually you want to make a feature film, right?
I'd like to make another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I made one and that was back in the day, but yeah, I want to make another one. So that's what I'm planning now. And I'm working on it now.
Oh, you have
But
it. So you have the story.
yeah, I'm working on two different scripts. Um, One of them I wanted to sell as a TV show, but it might even be easier just to make it as a feature. There's just so much going on right now with everything shifting around all the time.
Yeah. It's an interesting time. Let's just put it that way.
Hmm.
But there are things to take advantage of while everybody's trying to figure out how this industry is going, right? So
Yeah, this whole
that's my
AI,
perspective, at least.
the whole AI thing is so crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, but people are using it for different things, right? We've had there's different arguments because we've had CGI for a long time, right? So that's a
Hmm.
version
Hmm.
of AI, I guess, right? But
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
but typing something in and then that's so
yeah,
wild.
but your films are like kind of like have that structure where it is raw and it's like, well, the films I've seen at least that's what people want to see, right? Like there's nothing AI about it. It's just it's human emotion, right? It's a human perspective, right? So
And I'm doing like a little vertical series. I started it, but I'm adjusting it now. But I was just experimenting where I'm on the street. I take one actor, I have a script, and then I talk other people who are just walking by into doing the scene with them.
yeah.
And so that's pretty raw, where I'm just getting random people like walking to work and I
But then
get
you get
them.
them to sign of something afterwards,
Yeah,
or
I have them sign something and I have them do the scene with the actor.
that's interesting. And then but some of them not wanting to sign something.
Well, they'll just say no, no, I don't want to do it. And they walk by. But the
Yeah,
ones who want to do it, they'll sign.
yeah. Well, considering it's Los Angeles, where everybody kind of works in the industry or wants
Hmm.
to, it's a good
Hmm.
place to do that concept, right? So
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, it's fun to be out there, but I need more of a structure. I would again, just like the little girl, I was just kind of experimenting with random scenes and just kind of seeing what it would feel like. I like it. I like working with people who are just they're just out to get a coffee. They're just going to the dry cleaner and suddenly they're in like a movie.
yeah, and they're not expecting it, right? So,
No, they have no idea that this turn in their life is going to happen. I just think it's kind of fun.
but it's all got to piece together, though, right? Into some sort of
Yeah.
structure.
So I was just kind of out there out on the street
Yeah.
like experimenting with like weird little scenes. But now I'm going to make a whole story and now that I've tested the concept.
So, are your kids into film or storytelling?
No, my ex-husband is also a filmmaker
Yeah.
and director, and so they want nothing to do with it.
Gotcha. They've been around it too often, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. That
they
happens a
could
lot, right? So,
they could do it. They would be good, but they're like, no. I'm like, okay.
yeah. No, but but it's a common thing in the within the industry where like either they gravitate like strongly towards it or they don't. It's like it's either black or white, or they just like have
Mhm.
want nothing to do with it at all, right? They want to create their own kind of. They don't want to they don't want to be a shadow of their parent, right?
Right. Yeah.
I get that, right? So,
Hmm.
yeah,
How old are your kids?
9 and 7.
Oh, okay. So they're not deciding what they want to do with their life. Yeah.
One will probably take over this business because you can kind of tell that she has that, and then the other one will
Uh-huh.
probably be a doctor. Let's put it that way.
Hmm.
If I'm predicting, yeah,
Yeah. That would be great.
yeah,
I tried to talk my daughter into being a podiatrist.
yeah.
She didn't want to do it, but
Why that specific field?
I think it's a good job because you're not
Yeah,
around people who are really that sick, but you're also a
yeah,
doctor.
yeah. Who's a doctor that puts the during surgery puts the patient's
Anesthesiologist,
anesthesiologist? That's if I was going to be a doctor, that would be that doctor.
but
Sounds
that's
like a pretty easy
still,
job. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's not that easy.
Meaning that like I don't know, like it's like
You got the wrong dosage, and everyone's like,
yeah, but if you do it once, then it's the same kind of like it's in the same realm,
yeah,
right? So yeah,
yeah, an anesthesiologist
yeah.
who who's a little bit crazy. Maybe he
No,
inhaled
they're all crazy. I've met
stuff.
a few of them. They're all crazy. They'll have that kind of like they're all kind of zany in their own way. They're not like
Hmm.
a normal doctor. Yeah. I think they're just
Hmm.
posting. That's why. No, I honestly believe that. They're just like, yeah, I got that, and it's like all good. And then you ask them, it's like, has anybody ever woken up? It's like, what stories do you have to tell? And nobody has any good
Hmm.
stories, right?
Hmm.
Right.
Maybe they just won't tell them.
No, well, maybe, but you know you kind of see that yeah. Anyways,
Liability issues.
they get paid a lot of money, so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I love these two films. I think they're great, and I love the uniqueness of them, but they're still a coherent beginning, middle, and end. So it's not like it's not like masturbatory, if you know what I mean. Like it's
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
you're just like there's something there to it. There's a thematic in place. So it's interesting
Thank
what you're
you.
doing. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'd love to see your feature when it's done.
Okay. I'll shoot you an email. Hey,
Cool.
and you could send me that other thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, congratulations on the success of your second career, if I can call it that. And I wish you the best. And let's talk again when you make your next film.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.